Much needed supplies get closer to China by the second. As the country deals with a growing outbreak of the new coronavirus, the creative solution a local group found to get those supplies on the ground in a matter of days.
And a bag of mail stolen, and now people in the East County warned they could be vulnerable to identity theft. How it may have been easy for the thief to just walk off with the mail, and the clue that may make them easy to find. But first, we're on top of breaking news out of El Cajon, where police have a man in custody after a shooting and a chase. Now, police say 3 men were involved and 2 got away after crashing near Pepper Drive in Mollison.
10 News reporter Laura Acevedo has been gathering the details. She is joining us now live where this all began. And Laura, police say the man in custody tried to steal one of their vehicles.
Yes, that is what officers are saying. Now, that pursuit ended about 3 miles from where we are right now. I'm going to step out of the camera so you can see the scene. This is where the police say the shooting happened. Officers say the man was in this parking lot, which is on South Mollison and Main, when he was approached by 3 men. Now, at some point, they say that one of the suspects shot the man and then left the scene with those 2 other men in a white Volkswagen. Officers responding to the call saw the car, and that's when the pursuit started. The suspect then crashed into another driver on Pepper Drive. That ended the pursuit. 2 adults inside and 2 children were in that car. Now, officers say the suspect then took off on foot and tried to get into one of their empty police cars. Officers were able to arrest the man before he took control of that police car. Now, they are still looking for those 2 other suspects, although they did not provide a description. Now, as far as the man that was shot, we know that he was taken to a trauma center and is being treated for at least 1 gunshot wound. The 2 adults and the 2 children inside the other car were unharmed. Reporting live in El Cajon, Laura Acevedo, 10 News.
Thank you, Laura. Another day has passed, and still the CDC has not returned the results of a potential case of coronavirus right here in San Diego County. And regardless of the results, county health officials say the risk to the general public is extremely low, unless you or someone close to you has traveled to an infected area. Doctors say most people, even in China, who have the new coronavirus, are able to recover from it without medical aid.
It's not like measles, it's not like Ebola. We know what a horrible virus is like, and there are enough data from China to show that this is not a horrible virus.
All right, this photo was snapped this morning before a UCSD student flew out of San Diego bound for China with 2 very important boxes. They are filled with much needed medical supplies bound for areas affected by the coronavirus outbreak. Our 10 News reporter Michael Chen shows us how creative they have to get to make sure those supplies arrive in Wuhan.
So here are the material the physicians need the most.
Here is also what Yin Yang's wish to help looks like. Yang is from Wuhan.
My 2 aunts, my 2 uncles, and all my friends are in Wuhan.
They're not sick, but Yang is worried. She sees what is unfolding, sees the empty streets.
I was very heartbroken.
Also concerned is her friend Wei Qing.
It's kind of like in panic. And people dare not to go out.
Qing, who owns an online media company, posted on Chinese social media asking how he could help. Some of those answering doctors on the front lines who told him there is a desperate shortage of medical supplies, especially protective gear.
The people are suffering, and you're seeing the doctors, they are taking their own risk without wearing any masks.
Qing says medical workers are going without breaks, even wearing adult diapers during 15-hour shifts, some of them without masks.
Protective coverall.
Or these coveralls. So Yang, Qing, and some 20 other friends got the word out.
Also need some face shield.
Face shields, N95 masks, goggles among the supplies donated by clinics and ordered by the group. But challenges remained. Shipping it to a hospital in Wuhan could take weeks, too slow. On social media, they found this UCSD student with a morning flight, eventually landing in Beijing. In these boxes, more than 1,000 of their medical supplies, which he will ship next day delivery from Beijing.
Because of restrictions on checked luggage, the student had to give up his own luggage. This is full of clothes. It'll be shipped back to him later.
On Thursday, a different student has volunteered to check in these supplies on his flight. Michael Chen, 10 News.
The medical supply shortage is being blamed in part on factories shut down for the Chinese New Year holiday. If you are interested in donating supplies, there is information on the homepage of 10news.com. And as soon as those results come in from the CDC, we will be sure to bring you them live online. The quickest way to get the news is with the free 10 News app. You can find it in the App Store and Google Play.
And when I called, they said that the mail was actually stolen from the post office.
And because of that, neighbors in eastern La Mesa are being warned they could be vulnerable to identity theft. 10 News reporter John Horn explains why it may have been easy for the thief to walk up and take the mail.
Mostly bills and junk mail.
David Franks knew something was off when none of those things appeared in his mailbox last Friday. In fact, it was totally empty.
Well, we figured maybe the mail will come on Saturday.
The next delivery, however, included this official letter from the U.S. Postal Service's law enforcement arm. It explained that there was no mail Friday because a thief stole it, apparently from right under their noses.
I was a little surprised that they were able to investigate so quickly and get a letter to us in less than 24 hours.
The theft took place at the USPS Carrier Annex off Lake Murray Boulevard. Frank says a worker at the annex told him mail is left outside to make it easier for carriers to pick up. But instead, someone in a rental car drove up and took a bulk of it.
I was disappointed that it was so easy for somebody just to drive in and take the mail.
That rental car registration may help lead back to the thief. For now, residents are expressing concerns on social media over important documents in the wrong hands.
Paychecks, it could have been, people's W-2s could have been in there. I had a credit card that was supposed to arrive that day that was taken.
An officer for the Postal Inspection Service declined to release details, citing an ongoing investigation. He did, however, say there was no negligence on the part of USPS workers that led to the theft. John Horn, 10 News.
The Postal Service is asking anyone who believes they are a victim to contact them. It also encourages people who believe they're susceptible to identity theft to alert the 3 credit reporting agencies. Santa Ana winds will gust around the county for the rest of the week.
Our meteorologist Angelica Campos is tracking the wind speeds as we remain under advisory right now.
That's right, and it will be tonight when the winds will be the strongest and more widespread. A wind advisory has now been issued even for coastal areas, but it will be expiring very soon. Now, as we look at the current wind gust, averaging almost 40 miles per hour in Julian and 22 in Alpine. In Poway, it's not too windy at the moment, but that is the beauty of those wind gusts. They change. Sometimes they get lighter and then they speed up. As far as relative humidity, we're still averaging around 21-24%, so it's not incredibly dry, but conditions will be drier by the end of the week. So there it is, that wind advisory just expiring, and then our wind advisory in the mountains and foothills will continue through midday on Friday. Those winds will start to subside by the afternoon, but the effects will continue all the way through Saturday. I'll pinpoint what kind of temperatures we'll see as the numbers start to heat up.
Angelica, thank you. Border Patrol is giving us a look inside what they say is the longest tunnel under the border ever discovered. Agents say the tunnel is highly sophisticated too and likely used to smuggle drugs from Tijuana to Otay Mesa for a while. It was finally found in late August after a multi-year investigation. Didn't appear to be in use when it was found. It stretches nearly a full mile. The Department of Homeland Security is taking this opportunity to remind everyone that it offers cash rewards for tips that lead to the discovery of cross-border tunnels.
An SDSU fraternity is out after it was suspended in the fall for hazing. The National Board of Theta Chi says that it shut down the San Diego chapter after investigating this incident. The university sent 10 News a statement saying the decision to shut down the fraternity was made entirely by the National Board, which also owns the house where fraternity members lived. The university temporarily suspended Theta Chi in November last fall, along with 13 others, after a freshman pledging a different fraternity died following a fraternity event. Well, students who lived in that fraternity house have the option of moving into on-campus housing.
Teachers in the Chula Vista Elementary School District held a walkout after school today. They say that they are trying to pressure the district to reach a contract settlement after 9 months of negotiations and nothing to show for it. Teachers are pushing for a nearly 4% salary increase, but say the district has proposed tying that to increasing class sizes.
We're not going to sign any agreement where we increase class sizes because kids are number one for us. We spend lots and lots of time so that our kids are successful.
There is another budget meeting tomorrow. In a statement, the Chula Vista Elementary School District said, in part, we all share in the responsibility of fiscal accountability. We are grateful for our bargaining groups, our parents, and staff members, each of whom will sharpen our thinking as we work through budget deliberations and employee salary negotiations.